Hi, I'm Dylan Gowan, and welcome back to another episode of Overkill Reviews, BangerTV's heavy metal weekly review show. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our channel and check out all the awesome content we have. So since I'm fairly new to the channel, I've kind of distinguished myself as kind of the more prog nerdy guy, I guess, of the Banger reviewers. So for this week, I'm going to be reviewing something that's a little bit more nerdy on the death metal spectrum, which is, of course, technical death metal. So I never would have expected to have a Beyond Creation music video to have like this kind of Game of Thrones-esque vibe to it, but it's super awesome. The song's great, which brings me to the album I'm going to be reviewing today, which is The Algorythm, which comes out October 12th on Seasons of Mist. It's the third album by one of Canada's leading extreme metal acts. So just a quick bio with Beyond Creation. They formed in 2005 in Montreal, Quebec. Their first album came out in 2011 and have quickly established themselves as one of the leading acts in technical death metal. So Beyond Creation joined a long list of bands from Quebec. They've always put out such great death metal bands such as Cryptopsy, Neuraxis, and Goreguts. Now it feels like the baton has been passed down to a new generation with Beyond Creation. So, are they representing the province well? Let's find out. Beyond Creation are known for having intense musicianship, crazy jazz interludes, and just overall just fast playing, complex playing. You know, it's a technical death metal band. It's like prog's older, angrier brother. And from the moment you hit play on the album, you just get hit with just a wave of intensity. The band once again have teamed up with producer/engineer Christian Donaldson of the band Cryptopsy, who continues to help support a lot of French-Canadian bands. He worked with them on their last 2014 release, and he continues to help evolve the sound of Beyond Creation. Have a listen. So the first track I wanted to talk about is, of course, the one that's just kind of keeping it with the French-Canadian theme. It's actually the only track on the album that's spoken totally in French-Canadian, and I know the English translation is between Suffrage and Mirage, but I'm going to do my best to try and say it in French. So it's called Entre Suffrage et Mirage. Luckily, the rest of the album is in English, so I can fully understand what else they're saying on the album. Now, to me, when I was reading these lyrics along with listening to the album, my interpretation of the lyrics has to do with more of social structures. It's almost like it's a mathematical equation, like an algorithm, where there's a specific answer to every single problem. So if you somehow fall off of that, then society looks down upon you, and it's just really interesting themes that you see in a technical death metal album. There's a lot of tracks that stuck out on this album for me. Surface Echoes was a great one as well, showing Kevin and Simon, their songwriting and their musicianship is crazy, it's intense. And even you look at songs like Ethereal Kingdom, where they make 5/4 seem like it's really smooth, and that's insanely difficult to do because you're doing this kind of mathematical thing. But with Beyond Creation, they make it so musical that you almost don't even recognize that it's in 5/4, which is, from a musician standpoint, it's A+ on that. Binomial structures as well. That was actually, okay. Binomial structures makes me think that Beyond Creation is slowly kind of morphing away from a technical, a death metal band, and then going into more of a prog atmosphere, because it's all instrumental. And it really shows the band as just, it's almost cynic-like. It was really, really cool. And then Felipe has a great mini solo in there, so this whole album lets everyone kind of have their moment. And Hugo, their newest bass player, who's been in the band for about a couple of years now, this is his first album with the band. He has his time to shine on a lot of tracks, especially like Binomial. He's just a great addition to the band. The album ends off really, really strong with a track called The Afterlife, which includes epic orchestrations and melodic elements. And normally when I'm describing a technical death metal album, those are normally things you wouldn't find within the last song on the album, but it works and it's a great way to cap off the album. So I guess the only minor criticism I have on the album is that there's always a fine line between influence and imitation. When I saw Beyond Creation open for Obscura a few days ago, a lot of people kept referring to Beyond Creation as Canada's answer to Obscura. There are some moments where they almost touch that line between imitation and influence, but luckily they're such strong songwriters and musicians that they never fully cross that line. Despite my minor criticism with the Algorythm, it's a very, very solid album, and it shows that Beyond Creation are really representing the province of Quebec very, very well. Strong songs, strong musicianship, strong production. Overall, it's the kind of technical death metal band I can really get behind. I'm giving it 4.5 out of 5 skulls. So before we get into the shoutouts, I just wanted to mention that if you're into Quebec death metal, you may want to stay tuned for Overkill Global next week. Big album releases came out this week, including Atreyu with their new album In Our Wake. Also, we got Terrorizer with their new album Caustic Attack. And if you're into Norwegian black metal, there's also Eternus with the new album Heathen. And now I want to give my personal shout out for the album that I think you should all listen to this week, which is Vola's new album, Applause of a Distant Crowd. If you're into the kind of darker prog rock side, like bands like Riverside and Porcupine Tree, and even early Anathema, you're really going to dig this band. 1000%, they are leading the charge in terms of a dark, atmospheric prog rock. All right, thanks for watching, and keep on progging. Okay, that's it. I'm out. See you guys next time.